into action by a batter squaring themselves up because of that movement away from him is more likely to bring a second slip in to the game.
Definitely, spot on there. And also, just saying that the Sri Lankans haven't got away. Their run rate is literally at 3.3, and they can still play around with their field and obviously have attacking field still. Good fielding by Cody. Chance. Oh. Yeah, as I was saying, attacking fields because they can still play with a little bit of runs. If you're still going at in the power play, if you're going at fours and you've gambled and you've taken another 2 or 3 sticks, you're still winning. So that's why I say I'm a big believer that they should still carry 2 slips catching behind.
Especially when we've seen an edge also being put down. It also plays on the minds of the batters too. Now it goes over the top. The pressure has been building up. Lahiru Dara gets good connection. It goes for 4. It's been a while.
Good shot by him over extra cover there. He had enough of Khalim there hitting this line and length, and he said, if anything's up, I'm actually going to go over, which he did, and he played it really well there.
Khalim also just offering a little bit of width on that one. He is trying to make use of the new field that they put in as a catching position. Easily they could get a thick edge and be there. But Lahiru Udara is a good batter, clean batter. Well, he's shown on that occasion. Back to his areas, Dayan Khalim. Sunuran Mutusami cleans up. He goes for his second boundary. In his first 30 deliveries, Dayan Khalim has been nothing short of sensational, just missing 1 on that W column after 9 overs. Sri Lanka A, 32 for 1.
Good start, Vince. And I'll keep emphasizing and saying that we need another 2 or 3 in the power play here, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna try and knock 1 or 2 over here now in this last over before we see the end of the power play. So
Cody Yusuf in deep conversation with Matthew Bretsky. I'm not sure about removing slip for Cody Yusuf. Not really sure, but they've taken out Senoran Mutusami. They're putting him at mid-wicket. Telling him to take it home! Woo-hoo-hoo! That would have needed a closer inspection from umpire Stephen Harris.
good fielding there by Bretsky. I think Fernando thought that he's getting in quite easily, but Bretsky got to the ball really quickly, as we see.
Was a good shot from Fernando. Oh, would have been really close. Would have been. But he's off strike.
Beautiful.
Oh, Dara with a glorious stroke. Doesn't even have to run through it. The flow of the bat was simply so.
Yeah, Cody just over pitching there, but it's. For me, I just think there's a lot of movements that is just happening at this present moment. I look at the field previously, they took out a slip, they had him at mid-wicket and a deep square, so that's obviously saying that he's got to be bowling a lot more straighter line, which doesn't afford him to obviously go off the stumps or give width to the batter. Good line. And as we see, they've taken out the mid-wicket or the mid-wicket into extra cover catching, which now probably allows him to maybe hit up.
If they had that set up for that boundary ball, was going to be stopped, wasn't going to go through. Cody Yusuf has he's been getting the batters to drive. We saw one where it was nearly chopped back into the stumps. And now forcing them to drive on the up, and Simelane with the stop.
So in saying that, speaking about the fields and, so if you're going to nick him off because you're attacking with your slip, so your lines are probably different. Okay, so but they moved a guy, they moved second slip into a mid-wicket, which means he's obviously going to be bowling a straighter line. So now your slip doesn't come into play anymore. Whereas if he moves him over into extra cover catching, he can still play with his line, he can still nick him off. And probably the straightest he can comes, which is off stump, and you're still bringing in all dismissals. In saying that with mid wicket, there's just one dismissal that you're bringing into play, and it's probably either the LBW or the bowled, and hoping that maybe he might just chip it in the air to him, and you can't really hope. Bowled
with much more direction by Cody Yusuf. Saw a lot of adjustment on the field, a big pause. And they worked it out well, but it was just a roll off the fingers over the bats by Udara to keep the ball on the ground. And clearly they're looking to attack the legs of Fernando and go wide to Udara. That's how it goes. As you were speaking about the catching options, bringing the slip in, they bringing the short extra cover in. They're also bringing the point fielder in and the mid off because they are so close to the field after the end of 10-1. Just remember, more cricket to come. 27th of September, we will be starting the CSA T20 Challenge. The Lions, the defending champions, they'll be hoping for a much better start than they had last season when they were defending their one-day cup. As they defend their T20 cup, they'll be doing so against the Titans. Make sure that you get your www.cricket.co.za. Game will be playing after 10 overs here at Potchefstroom. Gert Maloney joins us in commentary. It's 39 for 1.
As we see a bowling change here, we see Andile Phehlukwayo. We also see a comment now with Gert coming into the com box. Andile Phehlukwayo had a really good game on Saturday with ball in hand. It'll be interesting to see how he goes about his business today. But welcome, Gert.
Thank you very much. As the golden voice departs, Pindulu Makobane, and Andile must love this, being the first change bowler. For it doesn't often get that role in the Proteas setup. Loving getting a ball that's a little bit newer, especially with this morning as we've seen the shape that the opening bowlers have had.
Yeah, it's been really good shape this morning. Khalim really set the ball to shape nicely as well. Very unlucky not to get a wicket. Oh, that's him. A short and wide delivery, and it looked like Fernando just threw his hands at there, and I was wondering what is going on there.
Almost like it was caught in two minds. He's going to leave this, or he's going to have a big waft at it, and all of a sudden, a fine nick and one of the easiest catches Makil Prince will ever have. Just look at this, a gentle loosener by the veteran, almost on the wide line, and a gentle nick. It's almost like he's rolling a wrist on that cut. And a wicket for SA.
Yeah, good wicket for SA. Fernando obviously got dropped earlier doors, but this time Mikhail obviously taking the catch. It was a real loosener by Andile Phehlukwayo, but in saying that, he has got the knack to take wickets.
He does. Doesn't matter what format he plays, he does have the knack to pick up wickets. And also, he's known for having a bit of a golden arm, breaking up partnerships as well. He's done that in the international stage as well as Andile Phehlukwayo. And he's just did it. He's the man that scored 97 in the first match. Fernando being dismissed with not a lot. And Mohammad Shiraz coming to the wicket.
For the South Africans, in saying that as well, compared to Saturday, they really didn't make inroads in the first 10, and it looks like South Africans have made inroads with wickets, plus controlling the run rates as well, which is really good. They're controlling the game at this present moment, which is something that they probably spoke about in the dressing room compared to what happened on Saturday. Even though controlling the run rate, they're taking wickets, where the Sri Lankans on Saturday, they didn't really score at a fast rate, but they kept wickets in hand.
As we see Mohammad Shiraz there, he's not known for his big striking, but he's very early in his touring career. One thing that I would mention is I wouldn't get too excited if I was the SAA guys, because they picked up the big wicket of Udara early up as well, but just the consolidation that Sri Lanka have shown and the patience that they've shown to build up an innings, they need a couple of more before they can get too excited.
Yeah, I think they'll probably get excited. I think they'll probably get excited if they get another 3 or 4 down very quickly. As we see another short and wide, which Andile bowls, and with Shiraz off the mark with a little cut into that gap between point and cover.
That's it. Like he tried that delivery again, didn't he?
I think I'd also try it if it gets me wickets. Eh?
Yeah, a bit of a long hop. Let's see if he wants to edge it again.
I'd love to know how many times, or there must be a number with regards to long hops and how many wickets long hops actually get.
Ah, STWs, huh?
Beautiful shot.
It is a lovely shot through back, literally through backward points there. And it's not Shiraz that came to the wicket. I thought it was a bit interesting as we saw him on the screen. Is much more known for his low order batting, as the captain has actually come to the wicket. And in record, you see his strike rate there of 73, average of almost 35. And just look at that lovely swing of the blade. Is the captain Surya Bandara.
Yeah, beautiful shot there by Surya Bandara. Bit of line. Beautiful shot after. It's always good when you see things like that as a batter, where he gets a boundary and he's still got the ability to still rotate strike and get that one, which is really good to see.
Surya Bandara is one of those players that's been around for a long, long time. He's got a lot of experience. That's why he's captaining the Sri Lankan A side. A couple of these names just knocking on their door. You see Petla Kwaya, captain.
It's a beautiful line by Andile Petligwaya. And that's where he was really good on Saturday. He got crucial wickets at crucial times of the game to slow the Sri Lankans down because of his lines and his lengths that he hits on Saturday.
That last part on Saturday was more the lengths that he bowled that was key, and also his change-ups was brilliant. There's a little bit more for the bowlers this morning. Early still in the match, only busy with the 11th, 1 ball to go.
Oh! Inside edge then, runs away to fine leg, could have easily chopped on and hits there.
Happy escape there. And for the Sri Lankan A, as the 11th over signs off, Surya Bandara very, very lucky to get away with that one.
As we see Andile going for the cut, another cut, trying to cut backward of point and gets a bottom edge and runs away to fine leg.
And in fairness, the ball was there to be cut.
Yeah,
it's another wide one by Andile Petligwaya. He's, I think he heard us up here. Maybe going for that. The good deliveries isn't taking wickets. We saw Cody Yusuf bowling with a lot of venom this morning, and hopefully Simelane can do the same.
Yeah, as we see Simelane, another exciting bowler, young exciting cricketer as well, all-round cricketer. It's really good to see some of these young, bright prospects playing over here, because they've shown some good start. I really like the look of him, and I think he's got a really bright future ahead of him as Andile Simelane.
Yeah, still very young, only 21 years of age. He's a right-arm fast. He can turn it up. He can definitely turn it up. And as you can see him walking back there, just nice broad shoulders. He's got a very strong action in the crease, where you compare it to Cody Yusuf's bustling action. Very skiddy bowler at you the whole time. Just look at that economy, 6.71. Best of 3 for 30 and an average of that he wants to improve.
He reminds me a lot as a all-round package of Andre Russell. He bats, he bowls, he fields.
He's got a bit of a presence at the crease.
Big boy as well.
Yeah, either with bat or ball, he's got that presence at the crease. It does give you something else. And he's a much better bowler than that average would suggest.
Yeah, I think very young in his career at the present moment. He looks to obviously improve that average as well. He's hit a really good line here. He's running, he's hit the wicket really hard. We speak about hitting the top of the bales, and he's obviously done that.
His average in T20s is a lot better, averaging 22 in T20. So he is a bit of a white ball specialist. Shorter format of the game generally, so he's only playing in his 19th.
Yeah, he got picked up by the Sunrisers, so spent some time there this past season with them, which he probably learnt a lot in that environment as well. Well bowled. Good lines here, good lines by Andy, good start by him here. Yeah, as I was saying, probably learnt a lot, and then he went to the National Academy, which was really good for him as well, I think.
Was also part of that SA under 19 squad 2 years ago. He is a very, very good prospect. He does have a lot of power in batting as well. Strike rate in List A is 117.
Good strike rate, that. Oh, bowled. I think you might see a lot of that now, obviously after the power play with deep square and fine leg back. And I don't think they bowled enough of that in the first ODI.
I almost had the feeling now looking at this opening, almost like we were too cautious. That very first game we played, and not a lot of aggressive bowling. Some of the bowlers that we saw in action actually just came through and went through the motions, trying to play too safe cricket instead of, we saw Cody Yusuf just going at the batter.
Oh, it's well bowled by him there. No, you spot on there, Gertz. I think it was the South Africans probably thought, oh, let's just try and ease it into something, as we see the end of the over, where the Sri Lankans are 51 for 2 after 12. Yeah, where they're trying to obviously ease into things, and unfortunately the Sri Lankans came out with guns blazing and obviously played the situation really well and took the game away from the South Africans. So different day today. Looks like they've come up with a different plan about how they're obviously going to bowl and what lines and what lengths they're going to be bowling. So it'll be interesting to see.
And in that 11th over, they brought up the 50. It's 51 for the loss of 2 wickets. Udara and the captain Surya Bandara at the crease. And all these bowlers have looked threatening. We said in the most phenomenal way. A bit of a long up outside off, just nicked it through to Mikael Prince. That Fernando, the man who scored 97 on Saturday. So we see the experience of Andile Petlekwayo coming in again.
Oh, just strained a little bit. It's hit his thigh pad down to fine leg. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how obviously Andile goes about his business today. Whether he will bowl the short ball or not. But I'm guaranteed on that he's got good skills, which he'll probably turn to his change-ups as well. Beautiful.
I think that would be the key for the SAA, is let every bowler bowl to his Cody Yusuf in our domestic setup. Anyone that's seen him play before, exactly what you saw today is what we see in the domestic setup. He's a very aggressive young man. He comes in hard, he hits the deck hard, and he wants to be in your face the whole time. So he's bowling to his strength. We saw Dain Khalim swinging the ball nice, and got Simelane on the other end. Gives Andile Petlekwayo just a chance to bowl his change-ups, bowl to his strengths again.
Yeah, definitely. As you see there, he comes in a little bit straight in line, which gets knocked down to square for a single. But yeah, he's very good at that, I think. He can control the middle overs for you. While controlling the middle overs, he's got the skill to obviously also pick up wickets as well. You'd really like a player like that in your bowling lineup, because yes, he can control the rate, but he can also take wickets, which is really hard outside the power play.
And also very great bowler with skills like that to bowl with your spinners, because you need someone on the other end as well that's also going to bowl the change-up, just like your variation in spin. And it's a skill as well to bowl well with the spinners.
Most definitely. Bandile, this is really good by him. This is really, really good by him.
This is something that I missed from him on Saturday. You can see a bit of a stare down there to the batter. Maybe just making sure that he's seen the right line and just asking him. As we know, fast bowlers and special rounders are generally very nice people.
Really, really nice.
Concerned about your family and your mothers and your sisters and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, good lines. There we talk. That's what we're talking about there. There's still a little bit of something in the 12.5 overs have been bowled. If you hit the right areas.
And again, I think the line is the one thing, but the length on this deck, up until it looks like it's going to be right up until the 20th over, there's going to be something for that. And the Sri Lankans will do well, maybe just to eye that up and then assess their situation from there again. But if you look at a run rate, only 4.2, just shows you how good the South Africans have bowled.
Yeah, they bowled really well this morning. But in saying that, I think the Sri Lankans has obviously sussed out conditions really well, and they're playing conditions. Well, they're playing the conditions really well, which they did extremely well on Saturday as well. If you see the end of the 13th over where the Sri Lankans are 54 for 2 after 13. I was saying they set up the game really well, where they looked at conditions, summed up conditions, and then started playing from there, and obviously accelerated in the back to 299. I'm pretty sure they'll go about their stuff right today in a similar way, or similar fashion, I should say.
Yeah, they showed a lot of grit, a lot of patience in that, especially this middle part of the game, did the Sri Lankans. Something that we were hoping that the South Africans will take out of their playbook for this game. Oh, Similani just getting into his stride.
Bold. These two have obviously followed up really well with the previous two that started off. So very, very important and vital that you carry on that momentum, that pressure with your change of bowlers that are your first change and your second change bowlers to come in and obviously do the job, and these two have done it so far. Bold.
This is what I love to see, is that aggressiveness. I mentioned it before, bowling to his strength. He's not someone that likes to contain. He's very much a strike bowler. He wants to run in and hit the deck hard. You could just hear that grunt right up to where we are sitting. And totally different prospect, this bowling lineup, than what we saw on Saturday.
We saw a bit of on Saturday where we had Tristan running in with a bit of Vuma, they should say. But these guys have obviously really good by the South Africans. They're really applying the pressure here, and it's obviously also backed up with the good fielding as well. But yeah, all these bowlers today, they can hit a line in length consistently, and so as well, which is also really, really important. Which I also felt that on Saturday in the first ODI, they're controlling the rate, creating chances as well. Yes, they would have liked maybe another wicket or two, but they're controlling the rate and they're also creating chances, which is good. As we see a field change here, where they've got a mid wicket in. Catch it. Put away there. Short ball by Similani that's been pulled to fine leg, just left of fine leg. I don't think you should get despondent with that. I think that's really good by Andile. Obviously, they did try to set up that trap with this field that they do have.
You can just see this delivery. Only thing I think is just the line, just allowing Surya Bandara to get inside the line and play that shot so he could pick his spot. Maybe get that one more in front of the nose and have him dragging it over would be a better bet. So nothing wrong with the bumper. As I said earlier, he's not really known for keeping the runs down. He's taking wickets. That's kind of what you want.
Oh. As he just tackles on 1-2 to fine leg. Yeah, I heard you spot on there with regards to the line of the bouncer as well. You probably wanted just outside off stump with a bumper. to try and pull him, to try and drag it to either fine leg or deep square, which become catching positions as well. He just came a little bit too straight there, which just helped it. He could help it along down to fine leg and obviously beat fine leg.
Now he could free his arms. You just want to cramp him up a little bit more. See that very high backlift of Udara.
Oh, there we go. That's a good chance there. Smalani creating chances as you see the end of the 14th, where Sri Lanka 59 for 2 after 14. It'll be interesting to see what lines and lengths Andile both Andiles settle into, especially outside of this power play as well.
Yeah, but I think the big factor for South Africa will also be the spin coming into play. Mutosami had a bit of a rough time on Saturday. They kind of targeted him. And it's maybe a good thing that he comes in a little bit later. He was one of the first change bowlers on Saturday.
Yeah, he came into play quite early doors, and I think the batters at the time were quite settled in, and they probably, well, not probably, they did take the attack to him. Whereas at least now they're still in a little bit of like a limbo mode at this present moment, where they don't know whether to strike or not strike, so they might not attack him as much. Which bowled, all of a sudden he moves into his channel, the Surya Banda, into Andile's channel to try and knock him through mid wicket, but it's a dot ball. But in saying that, that's where Keshav, sorry, my apologies, not Keshav. Really, really important. If he doesn't, Sen can really settle into a length and a line, and then he becomes very difficult to score off. I think that's where you'll get the best out of him as well.
Yeah, and also basically doing the job that Andile Petlakwayo is doing now. He's just keeping it quiet. And that's what's creating partnerships when it comes to batting. And we talk about 100 partnership we saw on Saturday, and this partnership and the right-left combination. But it's so important to realize that bowling works exactly the same way. Is that partnership between the two. You keep the runs down, your partner on the other side picks up the wickets. It is a partnership that pick up the wickets.
Most definitely. And we saw it with the previous two. And now these two as well are doing a brilliant job as well. Surabanda goes back into his crease. He goes really deep. There's a lot of aim at this present moment. He's shifting into his channel. And you can obviously see Andile also reminding him about that as well.
Maybe just asking him, what song are you listening to? I want to dance as well. Because he is moving around a lot, just trying to offset Andile Petlakwayo. And that international experience, just players will learn a lot from Andile.
Yeah, most definitely. Good season campaigner. Experienced campaigner as well. Bold.
Not that he's finished an international career by a long stretch of the imagination. He's knocking on that door with the Proteas trying out different combinations. We've seen now Vian Mulder get his opportunity there. Andile is just knocking on that door and says, whoever doesn't put up their hands, I'm still here.
Yeah, and we keep forgetting that Andile is still young. Like he made his debut at a really young age, and we think that he's probably been around. But he's played a lot of games for South Africa, and he's still very young, and he's still got a lot to offer South African cricket. As we see Surabanda knocking it into cover sweeper for one, once again moving into his channel. But Andile is doing a really good job here at this present moment. 2.5 overs, 1 for 13.
And also mentioning that one of those boundaries was a lovely cut by Surya. The inside edge, it went down to fine leg and nearly cluttered into the stumps. Andile only 28 years of age. He's playing at a stint at the Paul Royals in the SA20.
There's the short ball we spoke about, which is not convincing that there, not really convincing. As we see the end of the 14th, and South Africa is 61 for 2 after 15. And we're going to have a drinks break.
Yeah, just continuing on that conversation we had about Andile Petlukwayo, if you look at his ODI career, he's got an average of 31 in ODIs, and it's not like he's played a few, he's played 78 ODIs already with an average of 31, batting normally down as low as 7 and 8. That is very well done. And also his ODI bowling, I beg your pardon, that is his bowling career has done pretty well as well. If you look at his best figures in the ODIs, it's 4 for 21. He's picked up 91 wickets already for South Africa. But if you just look at the summary of this match, we saw the aggressiveness of Dayan Khalim, and morning 1 for 26 Cody Yusuf, and the other wicket takers Andile Petlukwayo 1 for 14, but Andile Semelani was a boundary where he just missed-targeted a bumper, and that was played lovely by Surya Bandara.
Yeah, as we see the Sri Lankans as well, Udara at the crease, not out on 32, Surya Bandara as well on 13. I think this is a crucial partnership for the Sri Lankans, and the South Africans obviously looking to knock one of them over or break the partnership. As we see the SAA Bedlam that's playing today, Mikael Prince, Matthew Brietzkis, Sanira Mutasami, Mihalem Pongwana, Andile Mokokwane, Andile Petlukwayo, Andile Semelani, Dian Khalim, Cody Yusuf, Naba Peters.
Naba Peters, another one that we can't wait to see get into this bowling attack. The leg spinner is going to be interesting to see, as we saw the spin for Sri Lanka did a great job, as Udara's at the crease now with the captain, Surya Bandara. Their partnership has gone up to 22. Karamasinghe was the one who also hit a very fast blown 50 on Saturday of about 36 deliveries. And then the danger man for South Africa is Vanuya Shahan. He is a finger spinner, but oh my goodness, does he turn it?
He got a bit of purchase in the first ODI and starting to turn. It'll be interesting to see if they do get any turn today.
And it's one of those that's going to take it away from you. The wickets that is Emil Mishara, another man that scored 70. He was involved in that big partnership with the other victim for the day. Fernando scored over 100 partnership when they lost Udara in the first ODI very early. He's gone for 10 at Mishara. 13, he was brilliantly caught by Mpongwana by bowling of Cody Yusuf, and then Andile Petlukwayo. Fernando to play a very uncharacteristic shot, just throwing the bat outside off on a bit of a long hop, and nicked it to the keeper, Mikael Prince. Drinks have come, drinks have gone. And oh, you can just feel the vibe in Potch. Although it's a Monday, it's a bit of a slow start to the Monday, as this is generally a student destination, but I think it'll liven up a bit earlier.
Yeah, I think some of the United supporters are struggling to get up this morning and get going.
I don't think we've noticed. You may be a United supporter?
Yeah, come on. As you see, Semelani, good start, good dot.
South Africa hoping that a break will bring in a wicket.
Yeah, Andile Mokokwane has been really good at backward point this morning for the Sri Lankans. Shaved a lot of runs there. And I think the South Africans have identified that that's obviously a scoring option for them. That run down to third man. And Andile is very backward of point there, trying to restrict that, which is good.
And also Semelani has got a lovely carry to the keeper.
Bold. Chance.
There's the one that we spoke about. That's much better directed, that short one. And nearly hit it down the throat of Andile Petlukwayo.
Not very convincing there by Udara with that pull shot. 33 or 47. Still not convincing that day. So I think they should persist with that to him.
Yeah, I shouldn't get carried away with the short ball. But if it's well directed like that, it does become a very dangerous delivery. And the follow-up is just as important. What will it be? Another shorter? Will they go for the good old-fashioned Yorker?
Bold. Well played. Good cricket.
You can see they're just targeting the legs of the Sri Lankans. Today's match, we're very much in a better balanced side, as the larger part of the field is now towards leg side. 40 split. Don't forget the CSA South African Awards will be live Thursday, the 5th of September at 8, and it will be on SuperSport Channel 212. We will walk away with the season's player of the year.
Oh, bold. Oh, unlucky. Just fell short there of Mikael Prince, and it's obviously gone through for a bye.
I think you're very generous with the unlucky there. He should have taken that one. He's a much better, and he puts himself in a very high regard as well. Much better keeper than that. That one, I think he just a bit of a fumble.
It'll be interesting to see if that was a slow ball or if it was just slow off the wicket. Didn't really carry to the keeper. Just tucked it in down to fine leg, and it looks like they're running hard. Nah, settle for the one.
Great work by Andile Petluquire. And as I said, the South African Awards will be live on Thursday, the 5th of September, 8 p.m. on SuperSport Channel 212. We will walk away with the season's coveted player of the year. And the website that should be in your browser already is www.cricket.co.za. Hashtag be part of it. It is a great initiative, and there's a lot of favorites in that player of the year.
Oh, well fielded by Andile Similani there, as a batter hit it, Udara hit it straight back at him, as we see the end of this. Sri Lanka 65 for 2 after 16.
That was thumped, wasn't it? That was fantastic work by Andile Similani. You mentioned earlier he's a big lad. To get down all the way down to your laces is job done. And also you can see the intensity of the fast bowler. He's not showing any pain, but one of the fielders wanted to give him a bit of a high five there, and you can see him just keeping the hand out of the way.
Yeah, he did well to save that. Put his hand down there. Udara hit it really hard back at him.
Maguire starting his 4th, 65 for the loss of 2 after 16. The partnership is 26, and the run rate is only at 4.1. So great work done by the South African bowlers thus far, and it's the seamers doing the work.
As you see, Andile coming in again to Surya Banda, and Surya Banda shifting into his channel once again. I think he's trying to shift into his channel either to put him off his line or to open up an area where I think he's really strong, and I think he's really strong off his legs.
It's one of those scenarios where 6 of the one and half a dozen of the other, where I think he's going to stand still for one and try and smack him over extra cover. We know batters like just to play the bit of a bluff game as well. He's going to move across, settles into that line, basically just stand still and try and hit him over extra cover.
Good shot.
And that could be especially because there's a close-in fielder on cover. And as we saw on Saturday to the Sri Lankas, which is now a very good ploy, as there's a lot of pressure on these batters.
Yes, Sri Lankans haven't really got away from the boundary option, and I think they really look for that drop and run. And the South Africans are really on it this morning. As you can see, your extra cover and your points is really, really close in, and your cover is on the boundary option, on the ring. Sorry. Bowled. Very well bowled. Yeah, this is really good by Andile.
Trying to get across and trying to access. And South Africa doing a fantastic job, as there's only 3 boundary riders. It's point, third man, a very wideish third man, then a long leg, and then also a deep square out. Those are the only 3. And we're in the 17th over already. Only 3 boundary riders. Just shows you the squeeze that the bowlers have put on the batters.
There we go, another dot. This is really, really good, yeah. This is 4 dots here in a row, which You can sense that something is going to happen. As we see, dropping down onto the boundary now to probably look after the over, which is really against, not giving him that boundary option.
Yeah, very important.
Oh, as you see, he brings him up as well. This is good attacking. This is good attacking fields by the South Africans.
I like seeing this. Important to close off the over well. 2 deliveries to go.
Oh.
And as you mentioned, that man coming in is the one picking up the ball there as well. He was on the fence, so that would have been an easy one. As we see him now going down, they might just feel that they've got the captain in a bit of a hole. So already faced 26 deliveries. Surya Bandara, and almost happy to give him the one.
Yeah, I think they just look after this over. Instead of maybe Andile over pitching or something and beats the inner ring. So rather that than. Oh, bowl. Beautiful lines, beautiful lengths. Really, really good over there by Andile. pr5jb. As we see the end of the 16th. 2 after 17. They're really controlling this game at this present moment, South Africa. Yes, they haven't got wickets, but the run rate they're really controlling.
He's just dropped under the 4 at 3.9. And don't forget that the Protea men will take on Sri Lanka for a 2 test matches as well. A full Pakistan tour this summer with our favorite Pink Day taking place on the 22nd of December. That's at 2 p.m. start. Get your tickets, www.cricket.co.za or Zanawe. Be part of it. It's going to be another fantastic tour.
You see Simelane charging in here. Oh, it just beats the outside edge. Well bowled by him. He's been so good this morning, eh?
He's been phenomenal. He's charged in, he's hit the deck hard. He's caused a few problems with that bumper of his. That bouncer always getting up to the badge. And then all of a sudden, the captain of Sri Lanka just does not look comfortable against him. Surya Bandara, the short one, and just pushing at that one. Nearly getting a feather down to Makil Prince at keeper.
Right, well played, well bowled. As you see there, Simelane just straying a little bit too straight. And Udara just working it down to square leg for one. You know, as you're saying, it's compared to ODI where the Sri Lankans was really comfortable coming forward with this ODI now. And that's maybe the change of lengths that South Africa has obviously opted for, with them bowling the bouncer more often. And as I say that, it was another short ball that was bowled, and Surya Bandara, Udara, my apologies, has tried to swat that.
That was a mistimed forehand there. That was against the net. Yeah, he wanted to flat bat that one. And it just hurried him. It was just on him a bit quicker than he expected. And I think that might be the difference as well. We know Sapamela and the other bowlers got some gas, but the bowlers this morning just had a bit more venom than we had in the first game.
Oh, bowled. As you can see, it's not really convincing the way they're playing these cross-bat shots when the ball's obviously short. So I think that...
And they're not getting carried away, making every ball short, just dragging it to a back of a length and then bringing it back. As we see the season campaigner Andile pr5jb there on your screen. He must be loving this. As I mentioned earlier, he's a first change bowler.
Yeah, they've really been controlling this phase of the game this morning.
Udara's faced 51 deliveries with 32 dots in his innings.
Catch! Like here as well now, all of a sudden, ball dying, going to the keeper. Are we going to see the same conditions as what we saw on Saturday? We could see it wasn't, when you hit the wicket, it wasn't consistent. The bounce wasn't consistent.
Exactly what you're saying. On Saturday we saw as well the normal backfill, and the ones that really dug in, it was the ones that actually had the tennis ball bounce.
ball here to close this over, this good over. Oh, well bowled. Well played, well bowled.
Computer digits coming in there. Any programmer's dream. 010101 for that over for Andile Semelani, who's bowled 4 overs for only 12 runs.
He's done a really, really, really good job. As you see the end of the 17th. And
it's old 69 that's on the board. 69 for a loss of 2. That's after 18 overs, and the run rate has dropped to 3.8. And anything, if you go back 15 years, anything round about years was still considered a decent score. Now you think they're struggling.
yeah,
As we see the man that we were actually excited to see, Kwaba Peter, coming in.
yeah, really he is. Funny enough, I heard about his story not so long ago, and it's a fantastic story about how he's obviously developed and got to where he's obviously got to. It's such a wonderful story, and the only thing you wish for a really successful career, and they just continue just doing well and setting the bar really high in South African cricket.
Yeah, he's a great prospect. Very hard worker as well. And he's a wicket taker. That's what South Africa wants from their spinners. It's taking up and picking up crucial wickets.
As we see him charging in here to Surya Banda, it'll be interesting to see here. Oh, good start. Good start by Noah Peters.
Very nearly celebrating his 22nd birthday. That will be on the 12th of September. In a couple of days' time. Very much a spring baby. Played for Border under 13s. And also the Paul Royals.
Yeah, reigns out of the Eastern Cape does Noah Peters. Came out of Fort Hare University, that's where they obviously found him. Oh, bold. Yeah, that's where they found him. He worked down there with the great Burton de Wet, which was down there in the Eastern Cape. And lucky enough, the Lions obviously snapped him up, and it was just one way for him after that. Bold.
He's
Beautiful
got
pace.
beautiful variation. He gives it flight through the air. Variation, his pace of the delivery very well. Made his T20 debuts against the West Indies in 2024 this year, early in the year.
Nice. Last time I saw him, he cleaned us up, which was the Northwest Dragons, and he bowled it a lot more quicker. It's good to see that he's obviously he started off with his pace a little bit more down, but it's still at a good pace that he's bowling at. His threats is his googly.
Oh yes, he does have a Google that flummoxes most batters. It's 2 T20s that he's played. He picked up 3 wickets. His best bowling is 2 for 32. Did get a bit of tap, but when you're a wrist spinner, you want to pick up wickets.
Yeah, wrist spinners are almost like seamers. They get used in white ball cricket. They always, when you bring them on, they obviously look to get wickets, and they've got the knack of getting wickets, and big wickets as well. Bowled. He started off really well here, Noah Peters.
Just hear all the encouragement. Everyone just giving him a bit of a encouragement. No, he's a very young fella.
Googly. Well played. Good fielding by Andile Semelani down at the cover boundary. Really 2 runs there.
Yeah, and we always speak about Andile Semelani's. His bowling is very aggressive, but man, he's an athlete. He does cover a lot of ground very quickly. He's a proper athlete. It's 72 for loss of 2, 19 gone. That middle overs is what they did very well previously. As we see another change, Semelani making way for the man who opened the bowling, Dayan Khalim, changing ends.
Yeah, he change of bowling. Him started off really well with the new ball. He hit good lines, got the ball to shape as well. Probably brought him on now just to maybe try get a wicket for the South Africans. It'll be interesting to see how he goes about his business now outside of the power play. Yeah, bowled, good start. Just tucked the way down to square leg for one.
I think this will determine as well if they see there's still movement. They might have Mutusami come in a bit later. I don't think they want to do a double change with the spinners. Have Kwaba Peters just settle into his line of length and give him a bit of a aggression on the other side. We saw Similani doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think they'll probably hold Sen back a little bit because the seamers are obviously doing the job for them. Shot. Good pick up here. Pick up and hits in front of square for 4. With the bouncer, it can't be hip or chest height because I think they'll lap onto that and they'll put it away. I don't think you try to bowl it shorter. I just think you just try to hit a hard back of a length which just sets up a little bit.
And that's the one again, just angling in that hand and just swivel and absolutely smashed 4-4. When it comes to the short ball, I think Similani bowls a little bit of a better short ball than Khalim would.
Oh, that's his line, that's his length ball bowled.
That's where he is very, very good, and he's had so much success for his franchise as well. Is that just hitting that bit of a back of a length and then letting the ball move. He's also one of those bowlers that seam is very upright as well. He does hit the seam on regular intervals where he gets some movement off the deck.
This morning as well, that's why he was so good this morning because he obviously hit that line and that length he's speaking about. That's a short wide and down to square. Oh, and he has misjudged it. Andile Petligwa has misjudged it. He ran in too hard and it went over his head, unfortunately.
Yeah, the veteran misjudging that one. I don't think he thought it was timed as well as it was. Very lucky to get away with that one is the Sri Lankans. We see him come running in. Misdirected, so the shot was on. And it just died on him a bit. And we see, just a little bit too much. He's about 7 off the boundary to start off with. A bit of a luck there for...
Yeah, a bit of a luck, I think. Khalim will be very disappointed with that. He created that chance and we spoke about deep square and fine leg. Being catching positions as we see that ball just flick down to fine leg. Nandile sweeping up. But yeah, we spoke about those positions being catching positions. That's very important as well. Just identifying where you're going to get your wicket and putting your best fielders in those places in order for them to take those chances.
You see that again, just the one bounce. Dayan Khalim doesn't look happy. It's like he might have done himself a mischief.
Yeah, looks like
You see the hands up there, the physio might just be called. Doesn't look very happy. Physio getting a bit of an exercise as well. He's getting his jog on. You can see that leg is strapped already for Dayan Khalim, so he might be coming into the match.
looks like it's heavily strapped down there.
Mutusami and Luto Sapamla having a bit of a conversation, strategizing. They might be talking football, who knows?
The great game that happened last night.
Just see a bit of water coming out for the Sri Lankan batters. It has been a fascinating morning here in Potchefstroom thus far. But don't forget, the exciting men's domestic T20 is scheduled to start on Friday, the 27th of September. 6 p.m. a night game at the DP World Wanderers, where the defending champions will take on their Yixkay rivals, the Momentum Multiply Titans, and that's going to be one for the books. With an essence that ignited the hometown pride, the past season promises and the future season promises not to be pure cricket excellence, but celebration of communities sharing values and the passion that unites them. We call fans to rally behind their favorite teams and players that will be showcasted in their prowess on the field. So visit that website, www.cricket.co.za. That's for more information. And I say again, that should be on your browser already. All the cricketing info with the Sri Lankan tour, the 2 tests coming up. We've got Pakistan, a full tour, including the Pink Day. Your tickets is available on that website. It's .za. Woza nawe, be part of it. As we just go through a bit of a summary of what's happened today, Brady.
Yeah, Andile pr5jb obviously picking up 1 for 15, bowled really well. Cody Yusuf as well in the wickets with 1 for 26 after 5. Peters just came into the attack now, only bowling the 1 over, 0 for 3. And Andile Similane after 4 overs, 0 for 13, which is bowled really well. Very unlucky not to get a wicket as well.
Yeah, and Surya Bandara at the crease, 21 of 35. He struggled to get the ball into the gaps as well. Some of these partners moved on very quietly to a 44 not out. He had a bit of luck in that previous over, just getting over the head of Andile Petlukwaya, 44 of 58. We see that Dayan Khalim is going to leave the field. He's not happy. It looks like that right leg of his that is heavily strapped. As there's 1 ball left in the over.
As we see Andile taking over to finish off that over. And the 1 ball has brought a dot.
Yeah, so the dot, no real damage there. So very, very good work done, and very sad of cricket. It is Pendulo Makubane.
They keep getting grander and grander.
We work together so much, I'm running out of analogies.
They never get old. They never do. Ngaba Peter's bowling also never gets old as well. He's shown so brightly in the T20s, going to the West Indies for South Africa.
A fantastic job, that wrist spinning coming in. Oh, not for the first. They haven't done this a lot, actually using their feet to spin. I think they're more comfortable after seeing an over of Klaba Peters. Just conceding the 3 runs in his first over. Oh, big appeal, big appeal. Everyone was excited. They might triple up, as there was a fantastic chase on the fence there. Looked like it was Andile Mokhokane who did the chasing. It's a long way down there, and Klaba Peters was actually off. He felt there was a...
He's bowling really straight here, Ngaba Peter. Dancing down the track as well was Lahiru Dara. He's been there for 59 deliveries.
Finding the inside part of the bat. And I almost feel that that appeal was because of that wrong one that he bowls. Dushra coming in there. Okay, fantastic bowling, playing well with the pace of the delivery.
It's never bringing you the same thing on Ngaba Peter. All different variations of leg spin in that right.
This one dragged short, and the easiest of catches, and not the best delivery, but he picks up a wicket, and Cody Yusuf says, thank you very much, I'll take the catch.
He gets his abundance of wickets like this, being caught out on the field. Many of the batters think that they have a chance of getting him out. But like you said, variations of pace. The ball before much slower through, and though shorter, but much quicker. It got to the batter way before he thought he could play it. And Pasindo Surya Bandara plays it straight wicket.
You can just look at this delivery again. Leggies does have a tendency to drag it down, but a lot more effort in that, and it just rushed the batter. He wanted to hit that a lot squarer than it went. And Cody Yusuf says, I'll pick up the third. Thank you very much.
Feel like he could have done better there, Surya Bandara. Certainly there to be hit. Nice open area behind square as well, but he decided to play it in front of square, exactly where that mid wicket is. So it brings in Sahan Arakchige.
Yeah, it's again a great by a South African bowler, breaking that partnership just before it really got going. And we spoke about Udara earlier on. He's 44 of 60, but he's faced 36 dots. So it just shows how difficult it has actually been, and the angles that the South African bowlers have bowled, and that they fielded in the perfect position, angles being cut off very quickly. So great work done there by the South African bowlers, and no one has put their pedal on the gas to really try and hype up this strike rate for Sri Lanka.
It's not easy. South Africa bowling much better than what they did in the first game, and that's why there are 3 wickets in. Sahan Arakchige, he played here, or he played against South Africa before during their tour in June in Sri Lanka, coming into bat for his 81st time, averaging 33, so close to getting that triple figures for his best score. That strike rate of 72, the current moment, that's the pace that he'll want to go through, because Sri Lanka need to restructure that partnership again. Abapita gets a wicket like he so often does. A true striker.
Out, bowlers in. Oh my word, that was very, very close. Would have been touch and go. I think a direct hit might have caused something there, as Udara was also not getting his foot off the ABS there, breaking in the middle. And Peter just causing a bit of problems. And we don't say that often enough when it comes to the subcontinent teams. A spinner causing a bit of problems.
And the thing is, he's not getting much turn as Ngabapita, but still causing the problems with the areas that he's delivering. It's going to be very interesting to see how the pitch is going to continue to play throughout the course of the day, because we saw that in the first game it became much more spinner friendly at the end of the day, even at the back end of the first innings. Ngabapita's not getting much purchase, not variation of all of his skill sets. That's causing bowlers, for the batters rather,
and causing all sorts of problems. Mokhakane had one delivery already to one. He finished up the over for just a little bit off target. He enjoys bowling around the wicket to the left-handers.
just understands his game really well under Mokhakane in terms of his bowling. Always looking to get it up there. And when he doesn't, he hits that back of a length really well, where the batters find themselves in between. His bowling is starting to take much more shape as he matures.
Another missed time shot and an opportunity with a direct hit. Now we are finding the mark. So everyone had a bit of hands-on heads there. Looked like that was very, very close.
Peter with the throw. Don't test those guys out. Great take. It was actually a sharp angle that he had to aim for. Got it working really well.
Lovely quick release by Peter.
They're just not getting the change of strikers off. And they finally get something with really good placement.
Just happy to run it down to third man. And I think this has been, if you looked at Arakchinge's record, he's got 17 50s to his name, and he does not convert those into hundreds, and that might just be a little bit of a frustration that I have with him. He's got all the skills, it's just this conversion rate is does give you something with the ball as well. Oh, this one just worked to third, squeezed out. And still, what I love about this field is South Africa only have the 3 boundary riders. They got deep square, fine leg, and third man on the fences. As I say that, for the right hander, it looks like they'll now actually have 4 boundary riders. Nope, Andile Petlakwayo is called in. He's going to go to a short fine leg. And they have moved long on to the fence as well. So the 4 is out the circle. They might feel that Andile is much as Simelane. As we got 3 Andiles in this team today.
All of them playing here together. And on top of that, you still have that mid-wicket who's standing there. Mhlalimpongwane has already taken a catch at mid-wicket. And with the areas that Mohakane hits nice and full, so easily you can flick it to the man standing at mid-wicket.
Oh, lovely shot through the covers. No need to run for that. That has just been lent on and driven beautifully, taking him to 49 by Udara.
Gives width, does Mohakane. Not at that length. Udara able to just get into it. Gorgeous shots through the cover placement. He moves to 49 runs, redeeming his first innings where he lost 5, was gone for 5 on Saturday. It's 93 for 3 after 22.
At Klaba Peter will continue, and for the first time they will feel that they've signed off a better over. A couple of singles in there and 7 from it, keeping that run rate right about the 4.2. They would love to get that over the maybe up to 5.5 from where they are now. Up to 5.5 will be great work done.
We'll need just upping the pace of the series against this guy bowling here. Ngaba Peter gets his wickets when you think you have a chance of just attacking him.
Lovely delivery, just floated up there, enticing the big drive. Just pushed for the 1. He's got some protection on the fence. The 4 boundary riders for the right-hander now is also got a sweeper out on the off and the leg side, and then also long off is on the fence. Easier to go with the spin than against. Lovely footwork there. And that means Udara brings up his half century, redeeming his first outing in South Africa. Brilliantly done. 50 from 64 deliveries.
This from Lahiru Udara. He had to soak up big amounts of pressure at the beginning of the game. Khalim, Cody Yusuf bowling like money. However, he stayed out there, given 50 from 64 deliveries. The runs don't come easy, Gert. You work hard for them, especially if the bowlers are bowling so well as the South Africans are here. Seems like they went back and reworked their game plan against every batter, and now they are restricting Sri Lanka not only with the runs they're getting, but with the wickets that they're also claiming.
And also feel that it is the more aggressive nature. Oh, big appeal. You can just see the umpire just touching his leg there. It was a thuddy sound. It was very soft. But I just think the aggressive nature of the South African bowlers this time round. We look at their delivery again. Just pushing it. Might have been a wrong one. Just gone wrong a tad.
They are being aggressive. Even their field settings, they never just sit on the same field and sit on the same plan. Even in an over, they don't mind changing it 2-3 times to mislead the batters.
Oh, this time he got a bit of a feather on it. And it's a big chase and a quick release. Just did not get the power he wanted, but a lovely chase and a lovely release there. And this one coming off the bat.
Andile Mohakane, really good fielder. Our great fielders on the field here for South Africa. Mohakane, Simelane, David Bedingham is also gun on the field.
This over is just maybe gone a little bit quicker than he did his previous 2 overs, as it brings the 3rd over from Klaba Peter to 147 is his figures. Udara's 50 coming all over the show. He's hit both sides of the wicket, scoring consistently on both sides. It's 99 for the loss of 3. one away from those triple digits.
But we can see from his pitch map only 4 runs being scored on the V. Very comfortable playing square off the wickets. He's been leaving the deliveries that force him to play straight. He hasn't been really going on that V. Only 4 from those runs there.
So we see Andile Petlukwayo also he's bowled the 4 overs, 1 for 15. His very first the wicket of Fernando, who uncharacteristically flashed outside to a bit of a nothing ball. And he got the nick. The keeper, Mikael Prince.
After all, Andile Petlukwayo did get him on 97 on Saturday. Probably saying, let me get you back. It's a wide-edge delivery that got him on Saturday, chopping it back into his stumps. He's probably going to feel a little bit angry and upset with himself that he fell for the same bowler in almost the same fashion, this time hitting the outside edge.
Immediately you could see the change up there. It just looked like a leg cutter that Andile bowled.
Still going to see Stendoran Mutsusamy also come to bowl as Sri Lanka, they are 100 runs.
In a not as quick time as they did on Saturday. This came from 141 deliveries and only 12 fours. No maximums yet in this innings from Sri Lanka. And they just started to get into their groove with the right-left combination, just kicking the ones a little bit more, finding it a lot easier to hit the gap in the field. You mentioned it within the over, strengthening up that offside with someone in the circle. South Africa has been a lot more attacking, I feel, today. And I think that's the one thing we took away from. We're a lot more attacking, a lot more at the batters than we were on Saturday.
Really not playing around. The only time they were able to get these ones, Sri Lanka, was when the power play came to an end and South Africa just pushed that one extra man, allowing for a little bit of more space to get those ones in. You can see 48 runs coming from boundaries in this 100.
Oh, stifled appeal. You can just see the batter just rolling the wrist there. That's the change-up that Andile Petlukwayo is known for. And with the aggressive nature of Cody Yusuf, Andile Semalani that came in, I can just get into his work, just run these overs down, just angling it in, just a little bit of purchase off the deck.
Running down the legs a little bit high. Doesn't want to change much from what he did on Saturday. And he seems like he's not changing much from what he did on Saturday. Those are exactly the areas he was attacking, getting a lot of balls straight, and that's how he was getting his wickets. And right now, he's getting value for what he's doing, going at less than 4 runs to the over.
And also just working in the dots, isn't he? He's working on those zeros. Just a single coming from this over, 2 deliveries left. This one just worked down to that deep square, has on the fence there for protection. And this is what I like about this setup now, is we saw with Ara's pitch map that there's not a lot of runs being scored straight down the ground in the V's. So they've brought both those players in. For the right-hander though, they do have 4 out there. A very wide fine leg. And then also a third man and a sweeper. Just to protect the boundary and protect this over. Only 2 runs coming from it thus far. This time he's taking him on. He went down the ground. Is it going to reach the fence? It is a big chase and a 4 coming from Andile Petlukwayo.
It's been dry. Petlukwayo has been bowling well, and even that shot was a force of the hand for Sahana Rakjige. He wants to assert himself that he's here, only having faced 8 deliveries. Not necessarily a bad ball from Andile Petlukwayo. It seemed like he slowed it down a little bit even. But right under it is Sahana Rakjige. Like you said, mid-on, mid-off, up in the ring. Risk-free shot if he can get it over. And so he did. Andile Petlukwayo, not to be too sad about that, is 1 from 21 after 5. 105 on the board.
I think it was more the field that forced that shot than anything else, not the delivery. Because you could see it wasn't timed perfectly. It was nearly hauled in. So Saba Peter comes in for his 4th over.
And given how Andile Petluwayo bowled on Saturday and how he's bowling today, it gives Matthew Brietsky, the captain, such a huge relief that he can back his bowler and that his bowler can back him up, because now gotten a wicket, Andile Petluwayo on the other side who also has a wicket. So this essentially means that there's threats on either side of the wickets, and the thing is, both of them are applying that pressure, going for just under 4 runs to the over. Ngabapitsa less than 3 runs to the over.
Got away with that one. That was fire down the leg side, and a lefty just picking out the man at 45. Again, quicker. Sweeper have some work to do, picking it up behind square. Oh, lovely arm. Lovely arm. And just again the single, where we actually saw them turning those ones into twos. There was a lot more aggressive running, but I think the fielding angles have been a lot better, realizing that Sri Lankans love playing square.
On top of that, the fielding intensity is higher level today.
Oh, using his feet, coming down the crease and not getting to it. Klaba Peter saw him coming and just dragged it in a bit shorter, and very, very nearly he got it down the throat there of the man operating the sweeper fence there, Cody Youssef, who's already taken a catch.
It's that quicker one that's always so problematic from Ngabapitsa, because he builds up the pressure slowly, fires in that short one. It's short normally, and the batter just brings in that deep square leg in the game as well.
As we see this time, he's dropping it short, and what a fantastic shot that is, hitting the OFM hotspot. It is the first maximum of the Sri Lankan innings.
Gets a clean connection here, Sahana Rakchige. Might feel like the length was just not on by Ngabapitsa.
I think the line was the big factor here. He's just going too straight there at the stumps. You can just see him dropping that hip and just getting the elevation. And as we know, in Poch, the ball does travel quite a long way.
Opens himself up brilliantly as well, Arakchige. Rather than going down the track and squeezing himself of space, he rocks back onto the back foot, giving himself extra time. It was the wrong one from Ngabapitsa, the googly. But with him going onto the back foot, just having extra time to react to whatever movement Ngabapitsa would have gotten.
Just settling into that line again. Even with that maximum, he still only conceded 16 runs and picked up a wicket. It is the end of the 25th. 3 wickets down, 113 for the loss of 3. And so Cricket South Africa and Hollywood Bets are excited to bring you the Hollywood Bets Pro Series Women Professional League, made up by the Hollywood Bet and the Hollywood Bets Pro 20. That's starting on the 4th of October. And again, the website should be on your browser. Pindula, I know it's on yours. It's www.cricket.co.za or Zanawe. Hashtag be part of it.
Hollywood Bets, you can see it on the top of your screen with the Pro Series where you see the CSA. They are the new official sponsors of the women's cricket. We saw last season the women's game getting professional Africa. For the first time, we're getting players who can live off just playing cricket as women. And now it's just going to be an added boost to them.
Andile Petluwayo is smashed through the covers, and fantastic work done by the sweeper fielder. It is David Bedingham. You mentioned him earlier. He is a dynamo in the field. He moves and covers a lot of ground, but his anticipation in the field is the big thing there. You can actually see he moved as soon as that ball was hit. He moved there.
The physical prime of his career at this moment, which is why it seems like everything he does just turns to gold.